the labor.
Oh, it is. It is. I have lain on my back looking at the ceiling for hours, after hours, when I could do that. Just looking at the ceiling.
I fully understand. You come out of there, out of this long labyrinth, with a crook in your neck because you've been looking up all the way.
That's right.
But here's what was really unusual, Father. My wife is a Catholic, as you know, Ramona, and as soon as we walked into the Sistine Chapel, the first thing we saw was this gigantic globe. And you know what was on the globe? It had all 12 signs of the zodiac.
That's right.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was so amazed that I had Ramona stand there and point to her birth sign on the globe, and I took a photograph and put it up on the website. It's up there right now. And I was going to come home and ask you, what in the world is something astrological doing in the Vatican?
Well, actually, Art, it's a historical fact that several popes over several centuries always kept an astrologer.
Really?
Oh, yes. Astrologer was noted for his Catholicism. It was always a man. And they consulted him about the affairs of state, whether it was advisable to do this, to that, to the other.
Really?
For hundreds of years. Oh,
now,
yes.
Somehow I'm a little lost here, Father, because I always thought that the only person a pope would consult with would be God in prayer, and that influence of the planets wouldn't enter into it.
Well,
not with Catholicism.
I know, strictly speaking, one would expect that, but they considered it a one way which God would advise them to do things. A wise Catholic astrologer who would be studying the movement of the planets and would see in the conjunction or the separation or the rearrangement of the planets the indication of favorableness for this view or that view of the Father of the Holy Father.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Do you know that tonight, as we speak, 8 planets are in alignment?
Yes. I was told that. I haven't got out to look at them because I really have something else to do, much less present and watching the planets. I'm terribly interested in them. And I would love to see them.
That is absolutely remarkable. Now, what is the modern church's attitude with regard to astrology?
It depends on the modern church. Certainly the present Holy Father does not consult, has not done, doesn't consult astrology. There is nothing inherently against Catholic teaching on Catholic faith in astrology, provided that you see it falls in the hands of God. Because, again, the Catholic doctrine is that God can manifest His will and tell you what to do in your life through various material happenings. And one of them is the arrangement of the planets. So there's nothing against faith. What would be against faith is one placed all one's trust in that and relied on that to be the deciding factor about life and death.
That nevertheless seems to be a very liberal interpretation.
Yes, it is.
Particularly for popes of many years ago.
I know, for hundreds of years, hundreds of years, literally. Certainly, you could say between at the crusade age 1200 and the middle of the 1600s, it was very common.
Well, then I think the church is to be applauded for not erasing history that perhaps they did not readily recall.
That's right. That's right. And actually, they don't emphasize it nowadays. Because besides the nowadays, astrology has become the purview of people who don't believe in God, at this point in the Catholic faith, and they emphasize it less. And then there have been abuses. There are stories and novels and real actual histories about people consulting stars that have decided to go in a Catholic. So that's where it goes over the edge. But as a means of knowing God's will,
really an
Not
amazing.
travel with us.
All right.
Just the five. Okay, we'll go.
Indeed. And then there were a couple of other things that struck me and will be with me for all of the rest of my life. I think, I believe in God, but I am skeptical about things like the however, while I was there, I also got to go to Bethlehem, I saw the exact place where Christ was born and where the final crucifixion took place. And I must tell you that, along with my experience in North Africa,